Welcome to Fouts Boxing Theory. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at whether or not Sean O'Malley won the first round, but we're also going to be taking a look at a few more important philosophical details about this, why, this, and that, and all that fun stuff. But let's go ahead and get into the scoring portion of it first. All right away, landing a right hand to the body, scoring a power punch right off the bat. Okay, he's going to do it a few times. Boom, another body shot right here. Excellent shot right there. Boom, kicks him right in the body. As soon as he gets on the line here, boom, this is a solid liver shot. We've got O'Malley up 3 power shots in a row, one being a kick. Gets on the line, touches him here, and he just barely grazes him with the toe. All right, we're going to give him credit for a controlling shot right there. Moving on, gets on the line, switches stance, shifts, moves into this shot, another power shot to the body. Very useless part of the body, no liver there. It's the lowest hanging fruit. Still a random body shot, right? Gets on the line, landing this body shot here again, bad body shot, trading it for a little bit of a hook because he's been so predictable. Merab is catching on, finally gets him. I give this sequence to Dvalishvili. I don't score them usually by punch count or this or that. I do it by sequences, and in this sequence, Merab predicted everything better and did a good job. So you're not going to give O'Malley credit for landing the point if it didn't really affect Merab, right? And he was able to land a better shot in the sequence. So we got him moving around, bouncing around, using his active guard and fighting off of his circling, setting a trap, and landing a rear hand on Merab. And it is landing. Boom. Is it not landing? Man, I swear I thought it was landing. I'm pretty sure it's landing. Sounds good on camera. And then he's going to be moving around again, the same thing. Boom, boom, boom. Catches him with another shot here. Not the hardest shots, right? But these are the kind of scoring shots. Again, a few more power shots for O'Malley. Now he's circling this way, and Dvalishvili tries to cut the ring off, catches him kind of here. We can clearly see that O'Malley's glove was in the way, but this is not how you block, so he's clearly still getting hit with a little bit of a weak kind of a head kick right here, cutting the ring off from O'Malley with that shot. But not like the greatest shot, but we still give him credit, just like we give credit with the stupid body shots O'Malley was landing. Now moving around, O'Malley lands another body shot right here, and then moves off the line. Again, Merab having a very difficult time figuring out a way to deal with the length of O'Malley and stop him from landing that very easy, low-hanging fruit shot. Hits him with the jab, circling. Okay, just another regular jab, nothing super special about it. Moving around, touches him with the toes on the quad, right? Enough to kick his leg out enough. Not the greatest shot, good control leg kick, decent, right? Moving, 1, 2, hits him with the body shot again. I did painstakingly watch that to make sure before I included it. Gets on the line, the jab misses, right? I just want to call attention to Merab getting on the line, boom, boom, bouncing right here, giving that little feint, and then jumping off the line. He was so good with that stuff, kept Sean O'Malley so off balance, and didn't allow O'Malley to get so much value out of his normal first contact. Still doing a good job following up. And again, that's quite a few body shots. It's quite a few power shots for O'Malley. Boom, shifting, getting hit with this shot kind of clean, right? Because again, Dvalishvili is predicting that it's going to be that body shot again, but this time O'Malley following up with another good shot here, man. He's killing him in overall connect shots, and doing a decent job. Stepping on his leg a little bit here. Boom, good shot. Again, that's the kind of shot that's very difficult to prepare for because you don't usually train and having your opponent step on your goddamn knee. Punches him in the head right here. Lands a really good 2 here. Knocks him off the line, off of the circling. Good pattern. Now, and this is where it gets a little bit hairy because this is the first time where he's going to feint him here, take him down. Now we give him points, right? Don't want to show too much. We give him points for taking him down. Boom. Now he's got him on the ground. Excellent. Okay, now once we're on the ground, we've got Merab. He's got him tied up here. And this is a very interesting point here because when we take a look at what limbs are free and what limbs are not free and what's going on, boom, he's going to land a punch here and he's going to land a punch here and he's going to land another punch and another punch and another punch and another punch. Boom. But he's landing mostly weak shots. He's not really able to get any power into these shots. He's holding on to his waist. He can't use his kinetic chain. He can't really use his whole body to throw these shots. They're all kind of controlling shots, right? They're forcing O'Malley to kind of change positions and move through. They're a little bit scoring. But like I said earlier, is how do you score this stuff, right? That's not the same as any of the punches, not even a single one of the punches that O'Malley landed not one of the punches that Merab landed were similar to the one that O'Malley landed, right? And also, this is all the control off of one sequence, technically, because again, like I said, I scored things by sequence, right? And if you're going to get the value out of your wrestling, you better get it out of your damage, right? And he's not doing any damage here, right? One connection, one sequence here. Okay, now that's not even the important part, okay? Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. All right, so again, getting him in this position here, holding him down, he's going to start kneeing him in the leg. And how many knees he's going to take like 7 or 8 knees or whatever it is. Boom, boom, boom. Now, again, are these lethal shots? Are these going to fight ending moves? Are they this? He's obviously going to try to block him and try to stop him from doing that stuff, right? Obviously. But like, how do you score this? This is still part of that same takedown. He's still holding him in this position. Okay? Well, it's interesting because this is actually why wrestling is kind of gay. Okay? Why it's kind of worthless in the UFC. Because if you take a guy down, so much of the danger is being in a position where somebody is not just going to be punching you in the face, right? But when they're in a position to kick you in the face and knee you in the face. Again, these are all the punches that Merab was able to land. It's not very many. And then right back to the feet with O'Malley attacking the non-liver side of the body, taking low-hanging fruit. Very, very, very easy stuff. And then, again, here's another little sequence here where he's getting taken down. Nothing really is landed. The whole sequence is nothing. Gets control of him, dumps him a little bit, and then they're on the ground again. Okay? And I just want to point out, it's not super important like the scoring and stuff, but it's these positions here that I want to really highlight and pay attention to, because the whole reason, right, in boxing, we give a guy an 8 count, right? And I forgot to go grab the Aljamain Sterling clip, okay? And I really wanted to talk about this and the refereeing and how the scoring works and how the wrestling works and the rules work, because all of them kind of make wrestling worthless, all right? One of the things that happens, okay, number one, in boxing, if a guy knocks you down, you're not going to be able to get up unless the guy who's the boxer takes a break from beating the shit out of you. That's why you give that guy a free point. Oh, he went down. If he doesn't, he cannot get up. A boxer cannot get up without wrestling, right? He'll never make it to his feet, right? A boxer will just be annihilating the guy. Now, in MMA, when a guy goes down, as soon as he puts his knee on the ground, he finds himself in a position where you can no longer really hit him in the head, right? You can't knee him in the head. You can't kick him in the head, but he's allowed to grab your legs, right? It's a really, really weird and interesting flaw that kind of gamifies wrestling and makes wrestling, I want to say, makes wrestling not overpowered for people who don't know how to wrestle. But wrestling is actually a basic skill. I have literally 0 wrestling experience. Okay, and I know firsthand that most of being a good wrestler is just being strong. Okay, because when I was a kid, right, wrestling was also like just common sense. You just learn how some of that stuff works, leveraging and moving around somebody's body and stuff, because there was a lot more wrestling when I was a kid. When I was a kid, fun little story, you know, kids would, tie you down and sit on your chest, and they would do this thing called the Chinese water torture, and they would take their fingers and just boom, 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 and bash them against your forehead until you what? Until a bigger kid came over and told them to stop. And that was like the rules of the playground, or that was the rules of going anywhere outside your house, because nobody had a camera phone, nobody had any way to record it, there was no proof. Everything in the world was he said, she said. Everything. And as long as you could just deny it, right? Plausible deniability, very popular. But anyway, you kind of just, as a small guy like me, you just kind of realize, that wrestling, number one, is a large function of strength, but the rules are very obvious. So it's really interesting that Sean O'Malley has spent such little time developing his wrestling. I find that very, very interesting. But I want to continue on this little point here, because here we have one of my favorite knockouts of all time. These guys are going to wind up in a very, very similar position here, right? Oh, and he's going to frame. And notice as he gets up here, he's allowed to knee him in the head, right? Take advantage of the fact that he has a better structure. He's getting up, right? Actually taking advantage of the fact that his opponent is actually on the ground. Now, I'm not saying we got to let people soccer kick people in the face, okay? But not being able to hit somebody in the head with a knee or a kick while they're on the ground nearly negates all of the fact that you have an advantage. You know, Merab was manhandling Sean O'Malley, manhandling him. And how many times were they in positions like this in the fight, and he's not able to finish him? He's not able to knee him in the head. He's able to hold him down, and he has to transition through positions, right? How does Sean O'Malley make it out of this round here to claim that he won the fight if Merab is allowed to knee him in the face here, where he's obviously dominating him? We can all clearly see. But because of the rules, because people are allowed to put, like later in the fight when O'Malley's against the cage and he puts his hand on the ground so that Merab can't knee him in the face anymore. He puts his hand on the ground so that Merab can't knee him in the face anymore. That's a hack. That's a cheat code. Right? And that's what makes wrestling so worthless in the UFC. Merab, we clearly see, is dominating him, and I don't know why they gave him the 5th round. I actually haven't seen the whole fight. I thought that Sean O'Malley was going to lose, but because of the fact that he's not allowed to be kneed in the face, he's not allowed to be hit in these positions. He's being allowed to rest in a position that he's being completely dominated in. It's absolutely wild because he has no business making it outside of the first round. None. Only the rules save him. Just like how he's talking shit like he would beat Devin Haney's ass. Which, by the way, I actually think that Sean O'Malley probably actually would maybe beat Devin Haney in a boxing match. I think that he actually would in a straight boxing match. He wouldn't even have to do a MMA fight. He wouldn't even have to do like a no rules fight or nothing. I think he could genuinely beat Devin Haney, especially if they fought at the same weight class, right? Because I think, anyway. But these positions here, right? And again, we're going to get to this final clip here. But again, getting into these positions, this is a very fascinating one because Merab passes here in the second round. And again, winds up in a position where he could be, instead of doing what he's doing, he could be kneeing Sean in the face. Lee's got a great guard. He's passing. Sean's getting into this position where he's trying to be safe and rest here. He's trying to be safe here. Look at him. He's safe somehow. And Merab's not allowed to attack him and move him out of this position. Okay, this is how wild and terrible the UFC rules are. Okay, he's in an insanely dominant position, but he can't score here. He can't score here with his knees for some reason. Sean O'Malley's allowed to put him, so he has to try to pass again. Moves around, and now he winds up in. Oh, I thought he wound up being in a position. In another position, right, where he's not allowed to knee him, where Sean is allowed to rest in the scramble, right, landing worthless punches, worthless attacks, right, in a position that in a street fight he would never make it out of. Never. But with all the extra rules, with all the extra stuff, right, and again, in this position here, right, just allowed to rest here against Merab. He's being allowed to rest here for long periods of time where he should have no business being allowed to stay. And again, the only reason he's allowed to stay in the fight is because of these rules, because he's allowed to take positions like this where he's actively just putting his hands on the ground so he doesn't get kneed in the face, right? But he has no business being in this fight. Look at him being held down here. Now we get to this last clip here, right? Check this out. He's holding him in a headlock. He lets go. There's 4 seconds left. Why is he not allowed to just knee this guy in the face? Right? How many times do we see people get people in guillotines like that? And if they could just knee the guy in the face, they could just win. Right? Let that shit go and boom. Right? How many times have we seen positions like this? He's in such a terrible, awful position before this, being held there. And all Merab has to do, he's just giving him a little kiss. Doesn't even punch him in the face right here. He's not even being mean to him, but he could just be battering him. Anyway, Sean O'Malley did win round one, in my opinion, if you score it like that. But I also don't think that Sean O'Malley had any business making out of the first round either.